So hello students, welcome back to our class today. So today I'm going to focus on the still on our chapter whereby we are going to deal with the case of the solution of a linear equation. So previously we have been dealing with the expansion whereby we remove the bracket from our equation. Then again we have done also the case of the factorization whereby we introduce the bracket and so on. But for today I want us now to change the rules of the game, and then we come to the case of the solution of a linear equation. So in this case, there are some of the objectives that I want us to focus on very. So specific objective is that by the end of the lesson, you are supposed to be able to solve a linear equation with one unknown. So in our category, I will focus on those linear equations that are containing only one unknown. So the linear equation may contain more than one unknown, but in our case, we are going to focus on those linear equations that contain one of the unknown. So in my introductory part, that is the case of the introduction, we are going to focus on the linear equations which are the straight line equation involving two or one unknowns. That is how the linear equations are defined. The linear equation are the straight line equation involving one or two unknowns. So in this chapter we are only going to deal with the formation of solving of such equation, considering the cases of those linear equations with one variable. So what are the steps for solving a linear equation with one variable? So how many steps or what are the hints that you're supposed to ensure that you're following for you not to make the careless mistake and for you again to be very accurate in your calculation? So there are some steps that I'm going to take you down. So step number one concerns simplifying both sides of the equation, because this time we will be having the equal sign. So I want you to be able to simplify both sides of the equation. And then how do you simplify both sides of the equation? Is by correcting the like term together. That's what I mean by step number one, as you're going to see when we start doing our example. Then step number two, use the addition or the subtraction property of equality to correct the variable terms on one side of the equation and the constant term on the other. So in this case, because we are only going to correct, because we are only going to involve one unknown or one variable, then we are saying separate them. The constant term, you put them on the left hand side, and then the constant term you put them on the right hand side of the equation of the equal sign. So the one that contains variable, you put them on the left hand side. The one that contains the constant term, you put it on the right hand side, and then you can be able to get your answer for that one variable that you are working for it. So that is step number two. Then in my step number three, use the multiplication or the division property. Use the multiplication or the division property of equality to make the coefficient of the variable term to be equal to 1. So during getting the solution of this variable, we are saying you have to make that the coefficient of that variable which you are working out must be exactly equal to 1. That is stage number 3. Then stage number 4. Check your answer by substituting your solution into the original equation. So if you want to confirm your answer, in order to make sure that you don't have any mistake, you can be able to check your answer by substituting your solution into the original equation. So once you identify that the value of, let's say, a variable A is 5, then substitute that 5 into equation, and then try to see whether you're going to get the original answer in order for you to find your answer. Then, before I do the example, there's an NB that I want to emphasize on it. That is now the NB. Note that all other linear equations which have one solution are called conditional equation. So if your linear equation is only going to have only one solution, then that one is going to be referred as the conditional linear equation. And that's what I want us to focus on those equations that only contain one solution. So I'll take you through some of the examples as we move together. So my example number 1, and that's the focus on it. You can be able to see on my screen here, they say, those are the examples that I want us to focus on them. So we start with number 1. So you can see what the question is saying, that solve for the unknown in each of the following equation. So each and every equation I give you have to give me the value of the unknown. So the equation is there, which I've given you as what? I've written number 1, and see this 3x plus what? Plus 4 is equals to 10. So as you can see from my equation, I have two sides. I have the left-hand side, and I have the right-hand side. And that's why I'm insisting. But on this concept, you have to make sure that you put the constant term together. Or if not that way, you have to collect the constant term on one side and then the unknown on one side. Like for example, in this case you can see our variable is what? Our variable is x, and then you have the coefficient. The coefficient of this x is 3. So stage number 1, put the constant terms on one side, put the variables again on one side, and then make the coefficient of that constant term to be 1. So in this case, without wasting much of the time, it is for us to be able to take this one. You can decide whether to eliminate this 4 by subtracting it on both sides. So on this side, it is plus 4. If you needed to be able to reduce to 0, you can minus 4 this side, and then you minus 4 on the right hand side. If not that way, you can be able to transfer it on the next side. You come here, you take it on the other side here. So there we are going to have 3x plus 4. Not 3x plus 4, you're going to have 3x is equals to 10. Then when this one closes on this side, we reverse the sign. If it was addition, then after closing the equal sign, it becomes subtraction. So minus 4. That's the stage number 1. You remove the constant, take it on the other side of the equation. When once you do that, then the sign must change. If it was positive, then it's going to be negative. So once you do that, then remain with our 3x is equals to 10 minus 4 is 6. So once you carry out that subtraction, you are still not yet through, because again you can be able to see the coefficient of the x that you are calculating is not yet through. So on this side, divide by 3 to make sure that the coefficient of your variable is 1. So divide by 3, and then on this side, divide by 3. Then our x is going to be equal to 6 divided by 3, which is going to be 2. So that's why we are saying it is a conditional linear equation that's only having one of the variable there. So you can be able to see in my next slide there, the solution is the same. Either you subtract the 4 on both sides, or if not that way, you take it on the other side, whereby the sign is going to change direction. In both cases, you cannot be penalized. You can use method 1 here, whereby you subtract on both sides, or method number 2, where you take your constant on the other side. Then to make the x to be the subject, subtract 4 on both sides. That's okay. And then finally, this for you to come now and then substitute the 3x, divide by 2, and find our solution is going to be equal to 2. So that's the case which I'm talking about. So this one is a linear equation. We don't have the decimal, we don't have the what. Again, it does not have the fraction part. So what will happen if the equation contains the fraction part? That is going to be happening in the next slide there. We're insisting that solving an equation with a fraction or a decimal, because always it will not be a one which does not like the fraction, not always going to be whole numbers, but you're going to encounter an equation that is having the decimal, and again it is having the fraction. So what do you go about it? So that's why I'm insisting that solving an equation with the fraction of decimal, there is an option of clearing the fraction of decimal in order to create a simple equation involving the whole numbers. So once you meet an equation containing the decimal, step number 1, it is to eliminate both fraction and the decimal part for you to obtain the whole number part, then you can be able to proceed. So mission number 1 will be trying to eliminate fractional part, and again the decimal part, to achieve the whole number part in order for you to create a simple equation that is containing the whole numbers. So to clear the fraction, how do you do it again? You multiply both sides of the equation, distributing all the term by the LCM of all the fraction. That is the linear the least common divisor of all the fraction. So the LCM will be assisting us in kicking it off. So that's why I'm saying that is the first mission which you're going to be carrying out with. So as you proceed to clear decimal, multiply both sides of the equation by distributing all terms by the lowest power of 10 that will make all the decimal whole numbers. So if you get it, if it is not fraction, if it is a decimal, multiply both sides of an equation by distributing all the terms with the lowest power of 10 that is going to make all the decimal to be whole numbers. So if you have 0.1, you can multiply by 10 in order to eliminate that decimal. If you have 0.01, so if you have something that is 0.1, this one you can multiply by 10 to make it to be 1. With the 0.01, again you cannot use 10, you have to use 1 hand for you to have 1 10. Then with the 0.001, you have to multiply by 1,000 for us to be able to see that. So we want to deal with the whole numbers rather than the decimal. Remember we said to clear those decimals, you need to be able to multiply both sides of the equation, distributing all the term by the lowest power of 10 that will make all the decimal all numbers. So we will continue on my next video after this.